Hi, today we're going to have some fun with this old Casio keyboard, and to do that we're going to use this reel-to-reel tape machine as a tape delay and this multi-track tape machine as a mixer. So this is a Casio MT-240. It's from somewhere in the late 80s, I don't know the exact date, so if anyone does, please let me know in the comments. I actually got this for free.
It's free.
For a few months in 2017 I lived in a shared house, and one of the previous people who lived there left it down the back of the sofa, so I just said, I want. And everyone else was just like, I'm gonna let you do this. This is actually kind of painful to hold like this. Anyway, it's commonly referred to as a synthesizer, but it's actually not. It's actually a sampler or a rompler, basically one of these. That means that rather than using the circuitry to generate sounds through oscillators and filters, each key plays back a pre-recorded sampled sound. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this keyboard, largely because some of the keys have stopped working. So I'll probably do another video in the future where I open it up, try and fix the keys, then do more of like an all-round sound demo of it. Let me know if you want me to do that. For the tape delay, we're going to use this. This is a Tandberg Crossfield 3500X tape recorder. What allows for this to be used as a tape delay is the fact that it's got separate play and record heads, which allows you to directly monitor the playback whilst recording audio into it and then feed that audio back into the input of the machine. Hence the name, feedback. I've done another video where I explain this in more detail. It should be here somewhere. I'm also lucky enough to have got this for free as a kind of long-term loan from my dad. Daddy. To use the reel-to-reel as a tape delay, we need a mixer, and for that, I'm going to use this. This is a Fostex X-77, also kind of heavy. Fuck. Now, we're not using any of the tape record functions in this, I'm just using it as an auxiliary send. And finally, something that I did actually pay for, this DBX117 compressor expander. Though to be fair, I was pretty patient on eBay and managed to get a pretty good deal for it. I've modified this to push up the compression ratio. I've done a video on that as well, which will be here somewhere. I initially just used it to give the drums a bit of something, but ended up leaving it on for the entire time. Though I think it might have added a bit too much grit to the other parts, but what are you gonna do? And finally, everything's hitting this Gold Mic stereo preamp and then going into Logic via the UAD Apollo. So let's take a look at the routing. The Casio is connected via the headphone out to the input of the DBX. That's coming out into inputs 1 and 2 on the Fostex. I'm sending these out via auxiliaries 1 and 2 to the stereo inputs on the tape machine. That's then coming back out into input 5 and 6 on the Fostex, and those channels are then getting fed back out to the Tandberg via the auxiliaries. That is the feedback. And finally, we're coming out through the headphone out into my patch bay, which is hitting the Gold Mic. I can use the input faders on channels 1 and 2 and channels 5 and 6 as kind of a dry-wet control for the delay. I also pulled out a little bit of the highs to remove some hiss, and pulled out some of the lows to remove some of that low-level rumbling. Okay, well, we've made all these sounds. Let's have a listen to how they all sound together. Here's a fun, little cheesy 80s lo-fi thing. So there we go. I think it sounds pretty cool. Now, if we took out the slightly noisy compressor, used a more high-spec mixer, did a proper mix and master, then we probably have something that's a little bit more high fidelity. But it kind of depends on what you're doing and the kind of sound you're going for. I just kind of blasted through this as fast as I could, found a sound I liked, recorded it, repeat. So I've now got a better idea for what I might want to do if I was going to use it for a more intentional project. Leave a comment. Have you tried this? Do you want to try it? Does it sound good? Does it sound terrible? What do you think? If you enjoyed this and you want to support me, please head over to Bandcamp and buy my music. Follow me in all the places. Find weird gear. Do weird stuff. Thank you. Goodbye. Spotify.